What's up, Grappa fans? Now that I bought Megan the 4Runner she's been wanting, I have two daily drivers to choose from. Now, I bought the Silverado. Actually, I got it on a trade. When I got rid of my King Ranch, I traded a boy named Zach Klein's for a Platinum F250 that wasn't lifted and this Cat Eye. So I traded my big old jacked up King Ranch for a Platinum and this thing. You can check out that series. But long story short, I've been daily driving this thing, and my wife, where's my pointer going? My wife wanted a Bronco, and we found this one. It's a 95, and we've been very happy with it. And I've been very happy with this daily driver old Cat Eye over here, because I've towed everything from my crew cab long bed 71 F350 over there, that 71 short bed that I'm using body parts from, as well as the cab and bed that are sitting back there waiting to be used for the 6.7 Power Stroke swap. That's my 6.7 over there. We ended up using a Power Stroke to pull it. It was a little too heavy, but I pulled my boat. I mean, this thing has pulled everything for me without batting an eye. It does squeak and leak and has a couple issues, but pretty capable rig. And the Bronco, though, it's just so cool. We took the top off and went and watched the Alan Jackson concert, drive-in thing, and it was just a great time. The Bronco is just so classic, being a 95 compared to this 03, which has a totally different body style. You know, it's a little bit new, but not new enough. It's just kind of old enough to be old. I'm going to start with doing some exhaust clips, you know, cold starts, and driving them around, because they've been sitting here for 2 weeks while we took the 4Runner on vacation. And I'm coming back to this decision I have to make, because I need the money to put into my 6.7 swap. I might need to sell one of these things. I just want to go back to my roots a little bit with an exhaust clip. All right, this is going to be my before and after video for my Glasspacks muffler. Right now, this is my stock 98 F-150 with the 4.6 liter V8. This is my 2003 1500 HD. It is the 6.0, the 4L80 trans. It's got true dual no cats with, I think, about 2.5 to 2 3/4 inch piping going to an X pipe, and true dual little 12-inch cherry bomb Glasspacks with turn downs right before the rear axle. Decided to save up a little, wait a little bit longer. I got true dual 12-inch cherry bombs. Let's see if I can get a good look at that. Here they are. Now, don't hate on the setup here. This was like it when I got it. So it's just kind of clamped on here with some shady welds, but it sounds pretty decent in my opinion. And this is something you can do pretty cheap on one of these older work trucks, you know, and make it sound pretty good. So wanted to fire it up for you, let you see how it sounds. It's been sitting here for 2 weeks while I went home on vacation, and she's not too bad, honestly. I like how it sounds. This thing's about worn out. This truck will occasionally kind of stutter and sputter on a cold start. I've heard it can be the throttle position sensor, or it could just be a misfire with the ignition system, but it will occasionally sound like it has a cam, and from what I hear, that's pretty typical. You can try to chase it down, but it goes away as soon as you start driving. And I think it's pretty funny. This old worn out thing that I daily drive sounds pretty darn good to me, honestly. Let me know what y'all think. Figured I'd go ahead and do a little driving while I got it cranked up, and I'm about to move it around the yard anyway, so pardon the roots I gotta climb over. Get the windows down for you. 25% tint. It's pretty nice on this thing. 15 on the windshield. Yeah, really not too bad. That's just like the front windows down, driving like a grandpa. And I'll pick it up a little bit this time, go a little bit quicker. Make no mistake, this thing is worn out. We got a turn signal flashing quick telling me I need to replace a bulb. Just wanted to share with y'all what this thing sounds like. This time I'm going to keep the windows up. Yeah, a little loud for most people, but that's how it came, and I really don't mind it enough to change it, so it's probably going to stay like this for a while. Here's a look under the hood of my 03 60. Pretty stock, just has a AFE cold air intake that the previous owner installed. Looks pretty clean, I like it. It's a nice little touch, but just to show you, it's a 60. It's got the 4L80. It's a pretty, sought after combination. And to explain a little more, it is a 1500 HD, which means it has 8 lug axles. Even though it's a 1500, it's a little bit beefier frame. It's got kind of a weird combination of 1500 and 2500 stuff going on with it, but basically it's a little bit beefed up 1500. Not crazy about the 8 lug look of the wheels that come on it, so I'm gonna figure something out with that if I keep it. But it is a little bit beefier, and it definitely does the job. I haven't had any issues towing with it. Figured I'd do another exhaust video for y'all before I dive into my crew cab bump side project. This is my 1995 Ford Bronco XLT with the 5.0. It's pretty stock, doesn't have much going on with it at all, honestly, but it does have what I believe to be a Flowmaster 40 series exhaust. It's dual in, dual out with these little 4-inch angle cut tip, I'd say, maybe 3.5. Nothing too big. See, I've got 3.5-inch tips coming out both sides. There's that one. There's a view from the back. Stock bumper, stock spare tire. I lost the spare tire cover when I took the top off one time, but pretty stock. Just has my GRAPPAHOLICS sticker on there. Awaiting some graps for it. Not sure what I'm going to do exactly with this thing. I'd like to clean it up. It does have a few dents and scratches, but pretty cool little rig. Really like the little factory 15s that are on here, so that kind of narrows down my tire selection somewhat. But let me start her up for you, and let me know what y'all think of how it sounds. This truck's been sitting in the cold for 2 weeks, and just fired it up. It's not super cold out, about 55 degrees I'd say, so pretty normal start, but you can hear it idling down now. I'm pretty happy with how this thing sounds. Figured I'd let y'all know what I got going on here. Nothing crazy, but pretty clean old 95. And that's the year I was born, so I'm tempted to keep this thing, but it is tough. I got one too many vehicles in the driveway right now, so not really sure which one I'm gonna keep or if I'm gonna keep them both. Here's a look at the muffler on the 95 Bronco. Looks like a Flowmaster 40 series to me, dual in, dual out, but it doesn't say anything on it where I can see, at least. But that's my best guess of what it is, and from what I've heard before, it's what it sounds like to me. Now that y'all have seen them both, I kind of want to just walk around and show the interior. How they sound is pretty important to me, obviously, because I went to all that trouble. I haven't cleaned the inside of these things yet, though. Like I said, they're going to be daily drivers. So everything from the black ice tree to the cloth seats with the panel being held on with some wood screws. This is what I got going on here. Very stock. It does have a touchscreen and Bluetooth, you know, head unit, which is pretty nice. They both have the same amount of miles, so don't worry about that. But I'll pop the hood on both of them as well to compare the engines. But you know, they're pretty comparable. This one's got a little bit bigger engine, being a 6.0 versus a 5.0. This one already has Nittos on it, but I don't really like the wheels that are on it. So either way, I'm gonna have to change that. And then with the Bronco, we'll open her up. State-of-the-art 95 technology, does have cruise control, you know, all that fun stuff. It's really pretty comfortable. It has some pieces missing and some cracks in here I need to address. The seats are ripped on this one. It's leather because it's an XLT, but you can see it's got the standard, as you'd expect, foam showing in there. And these seat covers are pretty terrible, so I need to replace those at least. Back seat's in good shape, also covered. And as most of y'all know, the top does come off of this thing, so that's pretty cool. That's a nice feature. No issues with the top or anything. Back glass rolls down. I'll roll that down for you real quick. I think that's a pretty cool feature. Hopefully this doesn't sound crazy with the two V8s making a bunch of noise right now. But yeah, those are my options here. Both equipped with Grappaholics decals. I'll have those available soon. But two V8 four-wheel drives, and I'm just not sure which one is worth my time, because knowing me, I'm gonna put some money into them. And you know, even though it's my daily driver, I can't be driving around stock. I'm gonna put bigger tires on either one of them. So y'all help me decide. This is one of the tougher decisions I've had to make in a while. Let's take this little rig for a spin. Definitely a time capsule. Man, I guess I had the heat going in here this whole time. It is toasty. All right. So one thing, the typical worn out Ford, you know, shifter here, that's actually neutral and that's drive. So that's kind of funny. I need to replace that cable, or at least the bracket that holds it. The turning radius on this thing is pretty dang slick. I can turn around without having to back up pretty much anywhere. And it being kind of wide and four-wheel drive, you know, it definitely is capable, but it doesn't have a truck bed. So when you want to bring home something from Lowe's, you know, you got to kind of be creative. So that is kind of something that's holding me back there. And we're going to go through the ditch a little bit because I parked like a jerk and took up the whole driveway. But that's what this thing's for. All right. So that's how the exhaust sounds going down the road. really not bad. It does have a little bit of a gear whine that I haven't figured out yet. That started sometime after I bought it. I think it's the rear end, but I'm not exactly sure. I'm hoping that just, you know, doing some new gears would take care of that, because I'd like to do that anyway if I up the tire size a good bit. Crack the window some so you can hear it. I guess I'll do all the way down since that's what I did before. It's pretty windy sounding in here, with or without the windows. It's old and kind of shakes a little bit. It does have wing windows, which is pretty freaking sweet if I can do it with one hand. How cool is that? I mean, that's freaking classic cool truck right there. Yeah, pretty slick Bronco. Been happy with it. It definitely does the job as advertised, but not quite as capable as a bigger motor, you know, crew cab, you know, pickup truck. It definitely is, you know, only a 2-door. It's got the little back seat, you know, but the top comes off. It's pretty cool. I don't know, it's tough to decide. I'm gonna turn around right here just because I can. So that's always fun. I definitely, you know, like how I can just drive this thing wherever, but I don't know. I think it's kind of funny how instead of having the horn right here, it's got little buttons. That's kind of neat. It's on both sides. I guess the airbag was too confusing to put a horn in there with it at the time, but it's kind of fun. It's just old school. The radio is stock in this one, so can't really get my jams going unless I do the old cassette with a cord situation. Yeah, y'all remember these things? That's the only way to get some, you know, customized music going in here. It's not Bluetooth or anything, but, you know, it's cool that it's original too, so it's hard to say. There is absolutely no bass in this thing compared to the Silverado, which does have pretty decent sound. So that's, you know, something else too. But again, it's a 95. What can you do? It's definitely a much quieter rig. A lot more tasteful. We'll peek under the hood real quick. Megan's 4Runner did great on the 3,000-mile round trip we just did on the new Ridge grapplers. So y'all be sure to keep an eye out for the video I do on that, doing the kind of first impressions of the tires. But 5.0, there is an optional, I think it's a 5.8 in this year Bronco, but this is the slightly smaller V8, which would have given it slightly better mileage, but it doesn't get very good mileage either way. Neither one of them do. But pretty old school, basic. You know, you can see what everything is in here. Obviously you've got, you know, like the AC compressor and the alternator is all right in your face, but the Chevy's easy to work on too. You know, it's basic stuff in here. It's kind of funny to me. I thought this is like kind of a ram air deal that goes to your air box, which is right under the hood, and the hood closes pretty tightly here, so that does nothing, but it's kind of funny. And then you got like a dual from one going on here. It's kind of ugly under here, honestly. You have a Campbell soup can, it looks like, that goes to something. I can't remember what that is exactly, but everything's been working pretty well under here. Only thing I've had to replace is like a fuse here and there, a couple different things, but nothing mechanically has gone wrong with it. Again, they both leak and squeak, so pretty comparable. With that, thank y'all so much for watching. Now 6.0 or 5.0, which one should I keep, the Chevrolet or the Ford? I am a Ford guy, but this Chevy has been pretty reliable so far. Haven't really had to do anything to either one of them, but I can't decide. I don't know, one's a little bit cooler and older, one's a little bit more capable. What do y'all think? And y'all be sure to check out my 6.7 conversion that's going on over here. I'm putting the old crew cab 71 body from this one on my 2016 6.7 four-wheel drive diesel truck. It's going to be a pretty sweet, resto mod with new paint, but an old school look, and it'll be brand new on the inside, from engine, driveline, axles, interior, everything. So y'all make sure you subscribe, like, and tell your friends about Grappaholics. Check me out on Instagram. Thanks so much.